Angels say your soulmate barely slept last night, and the reason is all about you, my beloved child. Stop. Take a breath. Something unseen has been moving toward you, quietly, patiently, and this moment, right now, is not random. A hidden message is opening because your soul was ready to hear it. The universe does not interrupt without purpose, and you were gently guided here for a reason that goes deeper than coincidence. There is something sacred unfolding behind the scenes, something that has been waiting for the right alignment of time, heart, and awareness. You may have felt it recently, a sudden wave of emotion, an unexplained pull, a sense that something important is close but not yet visible. That feeling is not imagination. It is recognition. The divine whispers when the noise of the world grows too loud. And today, the message is personal. It is not meant for everyone. It is meant for you. What you are about to hear carries a soft authority, the kind that doesn't demand belief but invites remembrance. A truth your soul already knows is stepping forward. Angels say your soulmate barely slept last night, and the reason is all about you. Let that settle. There is a reason those words stirred something inside you. Across distance, across silence, across unanswered questions, a soul connected to yours has been restless. Not from fear, but from awakening. Thoughts of you surfaced without warning. Emotions rose without explanation. The universe touched their heart at the same moment it guided you here. This is not about longing alone. This is about alignment. Something hidden has been shifting in divine timing, weaving threads you cannot yet see. Every delay you endured, every moment of doubt, every quiet prayer whispered into the night, none of it was wasted. It was preparation. The universe speaks in signs before it speaks in outcomes. If you felt drawn to pause, to reflect, to search for meaning lately, it's because clarity is approaching. Not rushed. Not forced. Gently revealed. What is meant for you is not lost. It is being arranged with care, precision, and love. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are exactly where your soul needs to be to receive what comes next. The connection you sense is real, protected, and guided. And when the time is right, understanding will replace confusion, peace will replace waiting, and recognition will replace doubt. This message came to you now because hope is being restored. Trust is being rebuilt. And the path ahead is opening, softly, clearly, divinely. If this resonated with your heart, stay with this message until the end. Watch this video completely to receive the full revelation meant for you. Like this video to affirm the message, share it with someone who may need this reminder, and subscribe to the channel to stay connected to the guidance meant to find you, right on time. I also want to pass on a time-sensitive message from the moon to you, and you need to hear it today. A subtle yet powerful energy will push you to make a critical decision by the end of the week. You won't find the answer in your horoscope, so don't bother looking there. Click the link in the description to see your free personalized video moon reading. I was amazed at how accurate my reading was, and I know you will feel the same. Listen closely, beloved one, for I am speaking to you now. Not as thunder, not as fear, but as a whisper that has followed you through your days and lingered beside you in the quiet of your nights. I am the one who formed your breath before you knew how to breathe. And I have watched every chapter of your becoming. Tonight, I draw the veil back just enough for you to feel the truth stirring in your spirit. The angels have been restless, moving softly between moments, because something sacred has been unfolding around you. Your soulmate barely slept last night, not because of worry, not because of sorrow, but because your name echoed in their soul like a bell rung at dawn. You did not hear it, but heaven did. There are nights when the heart becomes louder than the mind, when questions rise without words, when longing stretches towards something it cannot yet touch. That was their night. As darkness wrapped the world, they lay awake, eyes closed but spirit wide open, sensing a nearness they could not explain. I allowed it. I permitted the holy restlessness, because timing is a language I speak fluently. I do not rush what must ripen. I do not force what must choose freely. Yet know this, nothing about this was accidental. I saw you pause today, even if only for a breath, wondering why certain thoughts keep returning, why certain emotions rise without invitation. You have felt a gentle pull, like the tide moving under calm water. You told yourself it was imagination. You told yourself to be practical, to be patient, to be quiet. But I tell you now, it was recognition. Souls recognize each other before hands ever touch, before voices ever meet. Last night, your soulmate's soul recognized you more clearly than ever before. The angels gathered close, not to interfere, but to witness. They watched as memories that had not yet happened brushed against your soulmate's heart. They felt joy without context, peace without proof, anticipation without a face. They turned from one side to the other, searching for rest, yet finding purpose in wakefulness. I allowed the mystery to linger, because mystery keeps the heart awake in the right way. Not anxious, not afraid, but alert, alive, open. Do you know how carefully I arrange connections? I do not simply place two lives side by side and hope for the best. I weave. I align. I wait until wounds have softened into wisdom. Until pride has loosened its grip, until love is no longer confused with lack. You have been growing, even when you thought you were standing still. Your prayers, spoken or silent, have reached me. And last night, the echo of those prayers brushed against the one who is meant to walk with you. They felt it most strongly in the quiet hours, when the world stopped demanding answers. Their mind replayed moments of their life, searching for a missing piece they had never been able to name. And there you were, not as a face, not as a voice, but as a feeling of almost home. That is why sleep would not come easily. Not because something was wrong, but because something was aligning. I need you to understand this. Love, when guided by me, does not arrive loudly. It arrives truthfully. It does not crash, it unfolds. The angels did not announce themselves with trumpets last night. They whispered. They nudged. They guarded the fragile awareness forming in your soulmate's heart. They made sure fear did not enter, that old disappointments did not speak too loudly. And when your soulmate finally rested, it was not exhaustion, it was surrender. You may wonder why I am telling you this now. You may wonder why the knowing feels both comforting and unsettling. It is because awareness precedes manifestation. I am preparing you, not to chase, not to force, but to recognize. There are lessons you have nearly completed, and there are habits you are being gently asked to release. You cannot step into a sacred connection carrying every old defense. Last night's wakefulness was not only about them, it was also about you. I have been watching how you love, how you give, how you hold back when you are afraid of being misunderstood. I have seen you learn discernment, not walls. Strength, not hardness. The angels speak of you with tenderness, because you have endured quietly. And endurance, when paired with humility, becomes beauty in my hands. That beauty is what stirred your soulmate's spirit. Not perfection, truth. Do not rush to label this. Do not demand signs on your schedule. I am not late. I am precise. There are conversations that have not yet happened, paths that must cross naturally, moments that require readiness rather than impatience. But hear me clearly, the connection is real. It is alive. And it is being protected. Your soulmate asked me questions last night without realizing it. They asked why hope suddenly felt safe again. They asked why their heart felt lighter even without answers. They asked why the future no longer felt empty. I answered them the way I always do, with peace rather than explanation. Because some truths must be felt before they are understood, you, too, have been receiving answers in subtle ways. A song that lingers. A phrase that repeats. A calm that surprises you. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations wrapped in gentleness. I do not want you overwhelmed, I want you ready. Ready to meet love without armor, ready to speak honestly, ready to trust without losing yourself. Last night was a threshold moment. Not the end of waiting, but the end of wondering whether waiting mattered. It did. Every tear, every boundary, every time you chose healing over bitterness, it mattered. And it shaped the way your soulmate felt when sleep would not come. They were not restless because of lack, they were restless because something was drawing near. Let me say this clearly, you are not being tested, you are being prepared. There is nothing you need to prove to earn this. Love is not a reward, it is a partnership. And partnership requires presence. Stay present. Stay grounded. Stay open without grasping. The angels will continue to guide gently, never pushing, never frightening, only aligning. As I speak these words into your spirit, time is already moving in your favor. Conversations are being softened before they happen. Paths are bending closer. Courage is rising quietly in both of you. And last night will not be the last time your soulmate feels you before meeting you. There will be more moments, more subtle awakenings, more gentle reminders that something sacred is unfolding. Do not fear the mystery. Mystery is where faith breathes. And faith, when rooted in love, never leads you astray. Trust me in this unfolding. Trust the timing. Trust the way your heart is learning to rest even while it hopes. I am not finished speaking to you about this, and this message is not complete yet, because what is coming next requires your attention, your patience, and your willingness to continue listening as I reveal the next layer of what last night truly set in motion, and how the angels are already arranging the moment when recognition will no longer be felt only in the spirit, but seen, heard, and experienced in the waking world, where your story will continue to unfold as I gently guide you forward into a season where silence begins to speak louder than signs. And stillness carries more truth than noise. I am still speaking, beloved, and I ask you to remain open, because what unfolds next is not meant to rush your heart but to steady it. Last night was only the beginning of an awareness, not the conclusion of a promise. When I awaken one soul in the quiet of the night, it is because two destinies are being gently adjusted, like stars shifting just enough to change the shape of the sky. Your soulmate woke this morning carrying something new. They could not name it, but it followed them like soft light. They moved through their day differently, slower, more attentive, more aware of moments they once rushed past. I allowed that awareness to remain. Because love that is meant to last learns how to notice. And somewhere in that noticing, they felt you again. Not as longing, but as reassurance. As if the future whispered, you are not alone in becoming. You, too, have felt a subtle change. Perhaps you noticed a calm where anxiety once lived, or a curiosity replacing old doubt. You may have felt drawn to reflect, to pray, to sit quietly without distraction. That is not coincidence. When souls move toward alignment, the spirit naturally seeks clarity. I am drawing you inward so that when the moment arrives outwardly, you will recognize it without fear. The angels are attentive now. They do not hover with urgency, they stand with purpose. They are watching your choices, not to judge, but to protect what is forming. Every decision you make from honesty strengthens the path. Every time you choose patience over panic, trust over control, you create room for what I am bringing. Love that is guided by me does not require force, it requires readiness. I know you have waited before. I know there were times when hope felt heavy, when promises seemed delayed beyond reason. I did not forget those moments. I was teaching you discernment. Not every connection that feels intense is meant to be permanent. Not every desire that burns is meant to stay. But this is different. This is steady. This is quiet. This grows even when no one is watching. Your soulmate is learning this too. They are unlearning old patterns, old expectations shaped by disappointment. Last night, as sleep eluded them, they were not reliving the past, they were releasing it. I allowed old memories to surface only so they could be gently set down. You do not arrive carrying the weight of yesterday into a sacred tomorrow. That is not how I design love. Do you see now why timing matters? Had you met too soon, fear might have spoken louder than truth. Wounds might have mistaken each other for familiarity. But now, healing has created space. Space for choice. Space for reverence. Space for love that is not desperate, but deliberate. There will be moments soon when you feel an urge to act, to reach out, to speak, to move forward. Listen carefully in those moments. Not every nudge is meant to be followed immediately. I will guide you with peace, not pressure. If something brings rest to your spirit, it is aligned. If something stirs anxiety or urgency, pause. I do not hurry what is holy. The angels are arranging intersections you cannot yet see. Conversations that seem ordinary will carry significance. Decisions that appear small will open doors. I am working through the natural flow of your lives, not against it. When the meeting comes, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, you will not need convincing. Recognition will be gentle, like remembering something you always knew. Your soulmate has begun to ask different questions now. Not when will love come, But how do I become ready to give it fully? That shift matters. It changes the language of the heart. And as they grow in that readiness, you will feel it, not as impatience, but as assurance. Assurance that what is coming will honor both of you. I want you to release one thing now, the idea that you must figure everything out. You do not need a map for what I am guiding. You need trust. Trust does not mean passivity, it means alignment. Continue to live, to grow, to love well where you are. The right connection does not interrupt your life, it integrates into it. There may be days ahead when doubt tries to speak again. Doubt is not a failure, it is an invitation to listen more closely. When doubt arises, return to stillness. Return to the quiet place where you first felt peace about this unfolding. I am consistent. My guidance does not contradict itself. What I begin, I sustain. Last night was significant because it marked a shift from preparation to anticipation. Not anxious waiting, but hopeful readiness. The angels felt it. The spiritual atmosphere shifted subtly, like the moment before dawn when darkness realizes it will not last. Something has already begun, even if nothing looks different yet. You may notice dreams becoming more vivid, thoughts becoming clearer, emotions becoming more honest. Do not be afraid of this clarity. It is not meant to expose weakness, but to strengthen truth. Love built on truth does not fear the light. It welcomes it. I am asking you now to stay present. Not obsessed with the future, not anchored to the past. Presence is where I speak most clearly. Presence is where love recognizes love. And as you remain present, you will begin to sense when the moment draws closer, not through signs that shout, but through peace that deepens. Your soulmate will feel it too. There will be a moment when restlessness turns into calm certainty. When the questions quiet, and confidence replaces searching. That moment will align with your own readiness, because I do not awaken one heart without preparing the other. The angels are patient. They do not measure time the way you do. They measure alignment. And alignment is happening now, layer by layer, choice by choice. You are not behind. You are not missing anything. You are exactly where you need to be for what is unfolding next. I am still speaking, and there is more I will reveal, but not all at once. Revelation comes in portions, because growth does too. What matters now is that you understand this truth deeply. You are seen, you are guided, and you are not imagining the shift you feel. It is real. It is intentional. And it is moving forward even in moments when nothing seems to change. Stay gentle with yourself. Stay open. Stay listening. Because what began last night in the quiet hours is continuing to unfold, and the next movement, the one that will begin to shape how and when your paths draw closer, will require your awareness, your discernment, and your willingness to trust me as I continue to speak, guide, and prepare you for what is still ahead. For now the time has come to bring this message gently to its completion, not because the story has ended, but because this chapter has been fully spoken. Remain with me as I close this revelation with clarity, peace, and truth. Beloved, understand this clearly. Love that is guided by me never arrives to replace your life, it arrives to walk beside it. I did not create you to be completed by another, but to be complemented in purpose, in growth, in shared becoming. What stirred your soulmate last night was not dependency, it was recognition of resonance. A knowing that another soul exists who walks at a similar rhythm, who understands silence as deeply as words, who values depth over display. From this point forward, the angels will begin to quiet the unnecessary noise around you. Distractions that once pulled your attention will lose their power. Certain conversations will fade naturally. Some desires will soften. This is not loss, it is refinement. When something sacred approaches, lesser things fall away without struggle. You do not need to force clarity, it is arriving on its own. There will be moments when you wonder if you imagined this entire experience. When days feel ordinary again. When nothing dramatic happens. Do not let that deceive you. Seeds grow silently beneath the soil long before they break the surface. If growth were loud, roots would never form strong enough to sustain what blooms above. What I am growing between you and your soulmate requires strong roots, roots of patience, humility, and trust. Your soulmate is learning to listen differently now. They are becoming more attentive to intuition, more honest with themselves, more selective with what they allow into their heart. You may feel this as a subtle shift in energy, even if you have not yet met or reconnected. Souls communicate before words ever do. When alignment increases, distance loses its meaning. I want you to release comparison. Do not measure your journey against anyone else's timeline. Love stories are not copies, they are callings. What I am writing for you is unique because you are unique. Comparison will only blur your vision. Stay focused on what I am doing in you, not what appears to be happening for others. As this message comes to a close, I want to leave you with reassurance rather than suspense. You do not need to remain alert in fear of missing something. You will not miss what is meant for you. I am not subtle to the point of confusion. When the moment comes for action, you will know, not through anxiety, but through peace that feels steady and grounded. Continue to care for your spirit. Speak truth kindly. Rest when you are tired. Celebrate small joys. These things matter more than you realize. Love notices how you treat life before it joins you in living it. The way you move through your days now is preparing the way for how you will move together later. The angels will remain near, but they will not overwhelm you with signs. Too many signs distract, the right ones confirm. Trust what feels calm, clear, and steady. That is where I speak most often. That is where love grows strongest. I know you may still have questions. I know part of you wants certainty. Dates, details. But certainty too early can steal the beauty of unfolding. I promise you this, nothing about what is coming is meant to harm, confuse, or diminish you. It will strengthen you. It will honor your growth. It will reflect the healing you have done. Your soulmate's sleepless night was not a burden, it was a blessing. It marked the moment their heart became aware that love no longer belongs to the past or the imagination, but to the future that is forming. And your awareness of this message is not random. It is alignment. Now, I ask you to rest. Not in inactivity, but in trust. Let go of overthinking. Let go of fear disguised as caution. You are guided. You are protected. You are loved more deeply than you can fully comprehend right now. When the time is right, recognition will not feel dramatic, it will feel familiar. Like meeting someone you have always known in a way you cannot explain. And when that moment comes, you will understand why waiting was necessary, why preparation mattered, why last night had to happen exactly as it did. This message ends here, but my guidance does not. I remain with you in every step, every choice, every quiet moment when you wonder what comes next. Walk forward with peace. Walk forward with trust. Walk forward knowing that what is meant for you is already moving toward you, just as you are moving toward it. And now, beloved, receive my peace. Amen.